Yo. What's good, universe? You already know what it is. This is Psych. No, it is not. This is not TBD Podcast anymore. We have officially changed the name to Slightly Unbothered.
Slightly Unbothered.
The reason why is when you go look for TBD Podcast, there's so many that have TBD Podcast. And I feel like Slightly Unbothered, and this is, and I'll let Gil speak on this too. By the way, this is still the heavy hitters of this talking podcast, Reggie, Reg, and Gil. But I feel like Slightly Unbothered pretty much sums me and Gil's personality up.
Yep.
So I think that it fits best. So again, what's Golden Universe? This is the rebrand. This is Slightly Unbothered. And I am your co-host, Reggie.
And I'm Gillie. So and look, Reggie hit it right on the head. A lot of stuff we are only mildly bothered by. Like a lot of stuff just like, I guess. But
right.
That is us in a nutshell. Slightly unbothered. So
it
makes perfect sense for us.
We got a lot to get to. Playoffs, second round playoffs is underway. There's been some. Boy, a series can turn quickly, can it? Series can turn real quickly. So we'll definitely jump into that. College football is talking about expanding to 12 teams. I don't know how I feel about that. That's a lot of teams. Julio Jones to the Titans. What does that mean for the Titans now? And then we're gonna have a segment, fast break, because I gotta go in on LeBron. I know it's been about 2 weeks, but I gotta go in on LeBron. Y'all might hate me for this one, but I have to. But let's get into it. College football. We're talking about going to 12, expanding the playoffs from what was it? Is it 4? Yeah, 4 to.
Yeah, it's 4 now.
4 to 12, which is drastic. I thought they would do at least 8, maybe, but 12. How you feel about that?
Hate it.
Why you hate it so much?
I hate it. I think they're only doing it, or even talking about doing it, to give either the Pac. Will give both the Pac-12 and Notre Dame. Although Notre Dame makes it all the time, but they're not officially in the conference. To give them a chance. I think that's the reason why they're doing it. I think that's it. Because right now it's just the SEC dominant, and maybe like a Big 12 or Big 10 team that gets in there.
Right.
I think they're just doing it for that way. I think if they were going to expand it, I think they should have went from 4 to maybe 8 or maybe 6. 4 to 6 would have done better for me. But jump from 4 to 12 is just like, okay, we're just gonna be watching college football, just be watching, and the games are not going to be as good. So.
No, I agree with that. 100. I would have thought they would have went to 8, maybe. But 12 just seems like a lot. Like that's because the playoff, the bowl game normally started. The playoffs started in January, right? And ends in January. So are you going to start the playoffs in December? Like, and you're going to take away from the regular bowl games, because you got to push the playoffs into early December. You got to push the playoffs into early December. Yeah. And how are you going to do the top 12? Are you going to do the top 12 teams? Are you going to do the top 12 teams? You're going to make sure the non-power conferences like the Boise States, the UCFs of the world automatically get in if they're a high rank? It's just, I don't know. It's just too much. Again, I think it's the bottom line. I think it's all about money too.
Right. And I don't know if they're going to do like our conference winners automatically get a playoff spot or it's just a lot. It is just a lot. And the way they rank teams anyway is difficult to do the top 25 because it's about who plays who. Then certain conferences have more power and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's going to be like trying to get 12 teams in and fairly in, because a team like you said, Boise State or UCF, they strength of schedule is not as tough as maybe the number 3 team that finished in the SEC. So what do you do then? It's just too many questions to be talking about expanding it to 12. I think they should have just waited first, done a low number like 6 or 8, and then try to do it if they were going to spend it all. But I really like it at 4 though. I really don't see nothing wrong with 4 because outside of Alabama and Clemson getting in every year, these other schools they have their bowl games and they go ahead and get the money. So
I would like to see it at 6. Have the 3 and 4, or not the 3 and the 3 and 4. Wait, is that right? The 1 and 2 gets a bye.
Yeah.
3 and 4 play each other, and the 5 and 6 play each other. And I think that's how they should do it. But it's still a lot. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot of 11, 12 teams is a lot, bro.
Yeah, 12. Well, even expanding it, because you got to realize, like you said earlier, some of the bowl games will have to get taken away, or unless they replace the bowl game. I don't know, because the Sugar Bowl is always the SEC versus the ACC. So how would that work? And that's not normally a big bowl game. So how would that work with playoffs? Unless we talk about shortening the season, which I know they're not going to do, and then starting, like you said, starting the playoffs early in January. I don't know, like those after New Year's, that's when college football, like the New Year's 6, you have those games. And then you're going to add 6 more games to after that, or 12 more games. At least, well, actually going to add more than 12 more games because that's just the first round. So
that's true. Yeah, I don't know. They said they're not going to try to start it until 2025, but at least they're talking about expanding it. I will say that. At least they're talking about expanding it, because I still feel like teams like UCF should have got into it a year or two, especially teams that, and I say that to give them a chance for, if they go undefeated. If they go undefeated and they beat who they beat in their way, I feel like they should have a chance. Now, if they lose one game, then hey, it's no matter what you do. But I just feel like it's not their fault that these schools don't want to play them. They don't. UCF wanted to play Alabama. Alabama, no, we're good. Why? Because they're afraid that it's just like with Michigan. When Michigan lost to Appalachian State, when Appalachian State beat Michigan that year, Michigan, I think Appalachian State beat them twice.
Yeah, they
beat them in Ann Arbor and beat them at home. And then when the power conferences saw Michigan, we're not going to play you guys. No, thank you. We get that one loss.
But Michigan sucks though.
But still, though,
Michigan hasn't been good in a while.
Well, we know that, but the fact that Michigan, that is a power conference, that is a well-known school, loses, that makes Alabama not want to play these schools, Ohio State not want to play these schools, because they're scared that they're going to have that one-loss record. You know, in college football, you lose that one game, you're pretty much struck.
But I really don't want to see UFC and Alabama in a championship game, though. Or
anything happens on any given Saturday. I didn't want to see Tampa Bay and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but that's what happened. I'm just saying, if you win, you win, man. These kids are all like I was watching who was it? More Than an Athlete podcast. I think it's More Than an Athlete, or I Am an Athlete. I can't remember the one that Brandon Marshall has with Chad Ocho and Fred Taylor and Channing. And Primetime was on there, and Prime was saying that he was like, "What's the difference? There's really no difference between the big schools and the small schools, yeah, y'all might have better equipment, better facility, but at the end of the day, a dog is a dog. Like if you want it, you can go get it. Simple as that. Because when you get to the next level, because my thing is, that, and I agree with them. When you get to the NFL, everybody's on the same playing field. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no, oh well, he played here, so you know he's going to be better than this person because he played at this school. No, when you get to the NFL, it is what it is.
That's a little different in college, though. And here's why I say it's a little different in college. Because it's the access that they have, and it's the talent pool. You take the CIAA where we go into.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have access to the same training facilities.
I agree. Yeah.
The same doctors. So our athletes are a step below the bigger schools just because we don't have the access to the certain things that they have. We don't have team doctors, team trainers, physical therapists, nutritionists, all this other stuff that these athletes are having. And those things do give them a slight advantage versus Alabama or Clemson or any other, or even a UCF. It puts us at a disadvantage. Now we get in NFL, yeah, everything is equal. But in college, it really does depend. Certain schools have access to a lot more stuff. Certain schools have access to stuff that some NFL teams don't have.
That's true.
I mean, you look at Alabama, that whole thing is, their whole football program is built kind of like an NFL program. Mm-hmm. And how they work, the workout equipment they have access to, the drills and everything they have access to, puts them at a higher advantage than the schools that are around them. So I slightly agree with what Primetime was saying, but you do have that factor in it as well.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like they need to give these schools a better chance in the playoffs.
Oh, most definitely they need to give them a better chance, but at the end of the day, it's only going to take one of those schools getting blown out by a big school that everybody's like, see, this is why we didn't do it. So
yeah, that is true. Now on to the NFL. Julio Jones got drafted or traded for a second round and a fourth rounder, I think it is.
I think it was a second and a third.
Second and a third. Anywho, it wasn't a first round. They couldn't get a first rounder. Sucks. How do you like the move? I don't know. I don't see what the hype is all about. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see the hype. Like I get it. You got Henry. You got Henry, and you got AJ Brown, and then you got Julio. But Tannehill isn't that type of a quarterback. Like he's going from Matt Ryan to Tannehill. They're not on the same playing field. Arm strength wise, I don't see it. Tannehill just started getting big again when he got to Tennessee. Why? Because it's a run heavy offense, and then you dip and dime it when you can. Now, it will change the dynamic of the team. As far as you have if you have what's the word I'm looking for? It will change the dynamic of the team because you have another threat out there that they have to worry about. But I don't see them, just because they had Julio Jones, I don't see them better than, and we're talking about the AFC, for y'all that don't know y'all's conferences. I don't see them better than Baltimore. I don't see them better, of course, as the Chiefs. I don't even see them better than Cleveland. And this is all on paper, but still. So I got them fourth best in the AFC.
Okay. Well, I really did. The only thing that really stood out about me to trade is Shannon Sharp calling him and didn't tell him that he was on live.
That was the most gangsters thing ever. That's the dopest thing ever.
So, but that's the only excitement that I had about this whole trade. Because I was like, first of all, and I know this may seem rude or crude, Julio Jones hasn't really moved the needle for me as much. I know he's a good wide receiver. Everybody says that he's a good wide receiver. But when I think about wide receivers, I don't really think about he's not one of the receivers that stand out to me the most.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't stand out. He doesn't stand out to me the most. It's like, okay, I need that guy on my team, or I need him because he didn't make it. How can I say this? I understand his talent, but his talent with Atlanta really didn't do anything for Atlanta. They didn't go any further with him or without him. It was the exact same. So he wasn't, although he was a good receiver, he didn't help that team win any more than they would without him. That's all I'm saying. Like his presence on the field didn't really affect the outcome of the game because they still had the same record with him or without him. They still they still lost in the Super Bowl after winning. And I know that
I don't blame that on him.
And then but I'm still saying, like,
yeah,
what can you do? And that brings him up. And although I don't blame him, it's just like he is a receiver. A receiver is so dependent on the offensive line and the quarterback and a good running game. All those three things have to be going for a receiver to really show how talented they are on the field. And he just doesn't move the needle. And now him going to Tennessee, it's going to be the same thing because Derrick Henry is going to get the ball. He is their weapon. He's going to get the ball. He's going to touch the ball 20 to 35 times a game. He's going to do that. That power run option. And I can see the play action working, but him and Brown are not. They're just gonna be able to double Julio, and they'll let Brown get his or something like that, and then Julio won't get no points or no shine. And everyone's like, no statistics. So it doesn't really move the needle for me. It's like,
yeah.
It's just, and like you said, that doesn't make them. His presence on the team doesn't make them shoot up in the AFC at all. It's just like they just got another receiver who will go MIA in the game because the running game is going to be so strong in Tennessee.
Right. Yeah. Let's say I wasn't too thrilled on it. It was I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, if he would have came to San Francisco, I would have been hyped, of course, because like I say, he's that distraction, and he can put up numbers. I think a lot of people may forgot about him just because he was injured last year, so you didn't really see him, even though Atlanta just was horrible. But we'll see. Like I said, I don't see what Tannehill. I think Matty Ice is better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. I don't see Tannehill throwing the ball that far, or throwing the deep ball that much. And like we said, Derrick Henry is the offense. Like that is the offense. So, and their defense is still. They still didn't do nothing to their defense. Their defense is still bottom of the pack.
Yeah, but Tennessee kind of finesse. If Julio was such a good player, and if he is that generational talent that's going to change that team, Tennessee really finessed Atlanta did that they only
draft picks. They definitely did.
They finessed them. And 2 late round draft picks, future round picks. Yeah. They finessed them, so.
Well, we'll see. Football season is coming up soon. Can't wait. Real quick before we take this break, I do want to get your take real quick on Aaron Rodgers. You think he's done? As in with Green Bay? With Green Bay? Is he coming back this year?
He'll come back when the regular season starts because he really doesn't need OTAs and all this. He doesn't need that. He's been playing the league. He doesn't need that. And the team will finally be like, okay. The team like, okay, Aaron, we'll give you what you want. We'll let you in on what we're doing. We'll get your picks. We know this. And the team will cave and everything will be kumbaya. Because he said, he's been speaking through other people. He said, it's not the draft picks. It's not the GM. It's not Jordan. It's not the coaching. He's been saying all this other stuff. So basically, he's just like, look, just put me in. Just put me in the game. And I think what happened was they told him they were gonna bring him in on draft picks and scheduling and plays and all this other stuff and personnel on the field, and they did it, and then that caused a problem.
Yeah.
So they'll fix it. I mean, I can't see him in another uniform. So.
Well, we said that about Brett Favre. We said that about Peyton Manning. We said that about Tom Brady. It happens.
It does happen.
It's the league. But yeah, I agree. I think he's going to end up playing, but he is stern. Aaron Rodgers has enough money to just sit out this year and then go. I want to see him traded. I just want to see him in a different uniform just to see it.
Perhaps a.
No, we don't want him. We don't need him. We don't need him. Maybe earlier, like during draft night, yeah. But now, we're good. We're fine. We're fine with who we got. Anywho, we about to take this quick break. You already know the second round playoffs is here. It's getting good. I'm definitely going to get onto my Jazz because I've been telling people about this man, Spider Mitchell, and everything else in between. It's a crazy series or a crazy playoff. So sit back, chill out, relax, go do what you got to do, I guess, and we'll be right back.
They don't hear me though. At the dope house with a whole lot of money, yeah. That's a whole lot of cash, a whole lot of hash, and a whole lot of ass on a whole lot of honeys, yeah. If you can water whip, then out you a stab in a soft slab and come back inside a harder whip. I'm at the heart of this. I'm G money on my Carter shit with all the niggas that I started with. You not a part.
Let's go to University back. You know what it is, like I said, if you didn't know, Slightly Unbothered podcast.
What's going on?
Like I said earlier, we had to switch the name up, Slightly Unbothered, because we're slightly unbothered about a lot of things in life. Anywho, the second round playoffs is underway. Run it down real quick. Philly is up 3-1 against Atlanta. Is that right? Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Philly's up 3-1 at Atlanta. Brooklyn and Milwaukee is tied. Milwaukee and Brooklyn is tied 2-2. Phoenix is up 3-0 against Denver. And Utah and the Clips. Utah's up 2-1 in that. We're not really going to spend too much time because it's going to be pretty quick, kind of, sort of. We start with Philly and Atlanta. We all figured this is what was going to happen. Atlanta was riding high. They got that first win, and it's a wrap now. It's a done deal. Call it what it is. No, they're not up 3-1. They're up 2-1. Right? Yeah, because 2-1, because they lost at home. They won on the road. Or they lost at home, won at home. Then they won in Atlanta. That was game 3. So they're up 2-1. My fault. I apologize on that. They're up 2-1 on Atlanta. Sorry, I had to fix the light, and I was looking a little brighter. You know what I'm saying? But they're up 2-1, right? Is that correct? 2-1.
Yeah,
my fault.
It's 2-1.
2-1. I don't think Atlanta has anything left. I think the run is over. I think Philly just is too much for them. They got too much length on Trae Young. So I got Philly still going. I got Philly next round. Nothing to talk about with Philly and Atlanta. Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Look, everybody was calling it a wrap after game 2, slashing. Ass kicking. I'm just gonna call it what it was. Brooklyn killed them, led by as much as 49 against them in game 2. Milwaukee came back, won an emotional game 3, and game 4. They just show that they're here to play. I think Brooklyn missed James Harden more than people thought that they would. Thinking that it was just thinking Kyrie and KD. I think James Harden is a big key of that piece for the simple fact James Harden can facilitate a lot easier than Kyrie and KD. Um, Kyrie's more of a scoring guard than he is a passer. Not saying he's not willing to pass, but he's a scorer. He's a scoring guard. James Harden, on the other hand, is a scoring guard, but yet I can still get you 13 assists.
Okay.
Along with 9 or 10 rebounds. And then we know what KD is. KD is easy money, easy sniper, tarantula, whatever you want to call him. He gets buckets, shoots efficiently. And now with Kyrie gone, and no one knows when James Harden is going to come back, it looks gloom for Brooklyn, bro. It really does. It looks gloom for Brooklyn. I posted on there, let's see if KD can carry the team by himself now. And I had somebody respond saying, he's done that. He's a 2-time finals MVP. He's been there 4 times. Yes, I agree. But he had Klay Thompson and he had Steph Curry. He's never been in the playoffs, and it's been just him. Even go back to OKC day, he had Russell Westbrook. This is the first time that it's just him and him alone. And I will say this, everybody knows I am not a big fan of LeBron. And again, we will discuss LeBron and his situation later on. But LeBron, sad to say, hate to say it, he could lead this Brooklyn team to the finals. He did it with Cleveland, and Cleveland was away. And I'm talking about Cleveland, his rookie year, Cleveland, or second, third year Cleveland days when they went to against San Antonio. This team is a lot better than that Cleveland team, and sad to say, LeBron could take this team to the finals. So we're gonna see if KD can do it, because I think Kyrie's done after seeing his injury, the way he rolled that ankle. I don't know if he'll be able to come back. He might be able to. And then no one knows the status of James Harden. Without them two, this is Milwaukee's chance.
Well, I can say this. Milwaukee got real lucky today. They got real lucky. And I know if you were watching the game, they shot 16 for 47. I'll make sure I got 16 for 47 from the three line. And that's their whole game. They're shooting the 3 ball like it's going out of style, like it's going empty, and they're not going to be able to make that up. And Kyrie would have made up the difference in points wise with them shooting that many threes, and missing that many threes. So it'll be okay. I think after Kyrie got injured, I had turned it off. I'm like, okay, because there's somebody else.
Right. Yeah. It became a blowout.
And they're at home, so you got these last 2 games are at home, so you got that factor into as well. But I think they get it's 2 games off. They get 2 days of rest before they play again.
Right. So
those 2 days, he'll get treatment. He'll be back. I think James Harden. I never thought James Harden was as hurt as he was. I just felt that they was trying to just rest him because they realized they really didn't need him for the series. But now they say they kind of do need him serious.
Right.
You said something earlier, and I kind of made a face because I think personally, I think James Harden. We talked about this earlier. I think James Harden is the better guard. Yeah. I think James Harden shoots the ball better. I think he has better handles, and although he does kind of hold the ball a whole lot in the game, or control the ball a whole lot of the game, I'd rather have him doing that than Kyrie out there.
Yeah. Well, we know Kyrie likes it that way too, because he told him when he came in, hey, you're the point guard. So the series is tied 2-2. Pivotal game 5 coming up. We'll see what happens.
Not a series.
The home team win. Yeah, it's not a series until the home team wins on the court, or wins on when the away team wins, when the road team wins on the at home. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, yeah. And when the road team wins, it's not
a series till the home team loses.
Yeah, so. There you go. But if Brooklyn loses this game 5, you can call it a wrap. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it out, but we shall see.
This is horrible.
Phoenix, and
Sweet.
Phoenix and Denver's a sweep. It's over.
Sweet.
This team is hey, they're peaking at the right time. This team is peaking. I like how they're playing right now. They're clicking on all cylinders. Chris Ball, um, Wake Forest alum, Carolina born and bred. Um, he's been he is the best. He might be the greatest leader.
Okay, Charles Barkley.
No. And I don't know. Look, I don't know why Charles says it. I say it for the simple fact is every team he's been on, he has improved that team. Uh, I think those guys respect him to a T. Cameron Payne is playing out of his mind. Devin Booker has a guy that can set him up, but yet can get his own shot. DeAndre Ayton has a guard that will get on him. He's playing big. Uh, the man is average. The man is averaging 15. He had 15 assists. No, I don't want to say average. I think his total was like 17 assists with like 1 turnover in the fourth quarter or something like that. Like the man knows how to manage the game. He knows when to slow it down. He knows when to take advantage. I love the fact that when he knows that the team is one foul away from getting into the bonus, he draws the foul. Like the man, they're playing out his mind. And then Devin Booker, I don't care what anybody says. Devin Booker is Kobe's protege.
Well, wasn't Chris Paul is hungry right now. Chris Paul sees the opportunity. I think this is probably the first time in his playoff career where he sees that he actually had a chance to make it to the finals and win and get a ring and win the Larry O'Brien. So I think he's like, okay, he's going out, he's doing everything he can to win it. And you're right, Devin Booker, he idolized Kobe and he's embodying Kobe doing his whole playoff run and everything like that. And probably for the rest of his career, he's going to be embodying Kobe, which is a good person to embody. But I have the Suns sweeping. I have the Suns for right now going to the finals, to the NBA finals. And if they play any team besides a healthy Brooklyn team, I have Chris Paul getting his first ring. That's how good I feel about this team right now because they are doing everything right. They're playing offense, defense. They're balancing. They're not shooting a crazy amount of net threes. They have a good inside out. And like I said before, when we first talked about this, they have that three-headed monster in Paul, Aiden, and Booker who are doing their things. And then the others around them are stepping up enough.
Yeah.
So when one of them is having an off night or maybe an off quarter, they have that. And the rest of the teams playing right now do not have that. That's why they're beating Denver so bad. Because it really is just Joker. It is just him. MVP Joker, by the way, I call that. The MVP Joker. It is really just him out there. They're struggling to score the ball and everything like that. So
yeah, I agree. I'm still sticking with who going into the NBA final. But I'm not gonna lie, Phoenix is clicking on all cylinders. I am enjoying the way they're playing. I might be biased just because it is on the West Coast, but I just love the way Phoenix is playing right now, and they look good. For the last playoff matchup, Utah and the Clippers. Look, we're gonna get on your guy Paul George because I got some things to say about PG-13, my damn self. Donovan Mitchell is a superstar. Don't care what anybody says. I disagree with what Stephen A. said a couple of days ago, saying that Donovan Mitchell is the greatest jazz player of all time. Not yet. I don't know what Stephen A. is on. I think Stephen A. is tripping.
No, Stephen A. won't tripping because Wesley doesn't count as a human being. So
okay, we know how you feel about Carmelo.
But everybody should feel about that. Everybody should feel that way about Carmelo.
Everybody Google Karl Malone story and you'll know why. We've talked about it on our previous podcast. But if he wins a ring, yes.
Carmelo didn't win a ring.
But that's why
John Stockton didn't win a ring.
But that's why I'm saying. I just don't. He has to. This is only his second time in the playoffs, though. I got to see him do it, and this is only his fourth year. Like don't get me wrong. Like I love Donovan Mitchell. He is Dwayne Wade 2.0 easily. Dwayne Wade 2.0. Um, I just want to see. I'll give him the best Jazz player after this series. If he manages to get them out of this series, I'll give it to him.
So who is your best Jazz player? I just need to know. I hope, and I just need to know.
No, I don't. I wouldn't say Stockton. I mean, I wouldn't say Malone. No, I never even liked Malone's game. I like John Stockton more than anything, and it might just be because I was a point guard. So I like the way he played as a point guard. But John Stockton, the all-time leading in assists. Now, don't get me wrong, he shouldn't have been on the Dream Team. Everybody knows Isaiah Thomas should have been on that, but we know why you weren't on that, Isaiah Thomas. You want to walk off the court when the Bulls beat you, and you pretty much hated Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and then you kind of went back and kicked their asses. But anywho, I got John Stockton. I got John Stockton as the greatest Jazz ever because when he got there, that's when they started playing. Not only that, winning. I mean, not only that, he's the one that finally propelled them into the NBA Finals. It was him that took them to the NBA Finals. Karl Malone didn't do that. John Stockton hit the game-winning three against Houston in '96 or in '97 to go to the NBA Finals.
I'll put Jeff Hornacek over a guy who has multiple children with multiple underage girls who he to this day don't take care of or even recognize. So,
I mean, I agree. I didn't say that he was my favorite Jazz player. I said Stockton, but I understand that.
And my favorite thing about that child molester who has multiple kids by underage girls who he doesn't take care of to this day or even recognize, although they have his name, is the famous quote, "The mail don't deliver on Sundays." That's how I feel. And he had to deliver it as a father or as a man. So
yeah. I still got Utah winning it, even though Diamond had a slight little tweak in his ankle. But it was already a blowout in Game 3, so that's why he didn't play. Kawhi Leonard is showing up. Kawhi Leonard's been there. Listen, no more. I will only refer to this man as Paul George or PG-13. I will not. I would not.
Welcome to the club.
I will not go to this man and call him playoff P no more. And I'm tired of these people saying, "Oh, well, he had a good game in Game 3." Ain't nobody saying that. He had one good game in Game 3. He hasn't shown up in the fourth quarter. Like KP said, Kendrick Perkins said, we might be calling him. He is what he is. I don't know. He's not a great defender no more. Luka gave him the business in round 1. Donovan Mitchell was giving him the business in round 2. I mean, Donovan Mitchell was giving the whole Utah Jazz, the whole LA Clippers the business because he hit 5 consecutive 30-point games. Donovan Mitchell makes the team go. I just don't see Utah winning, or I don't see LA winning it. I even think Utah is going to end up winning Game 4. I think Game 3 they just got high. What's my squad? Utah wasn't hitting on all cylinders like they normally do. They're off a little bit. So I still got them winning. I got Utah and Phoenix in the second round or in the finals, the Western Conference Finals, and boy, will that be a hell of a series to watch.
Welcome to the club on Paul George. Paul Clifton.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome to the club. And I've been saying this since we started the podcast. I say Paul George is a good player. He's a good all-around player. But he goes absent and he goes missing in a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
And when he goes missing at times when you expect somebody with the moniker playoff P or all of this or superstar mentality to step up, and he doesn't shine in those moments. He is a good good Robin. That's what he is. He's a good Robin who excels, but you really can't count on him when you need him. And we looked at his run in Indiana, and I said this before, I'm gonna say it again. Danny Granger, before the injury, was that star. Was that star of that team, was that guy, was their closer. Paul George wasn't that, but then Danny Granger got hurt, and that elevated Paul automatically into that position.
A lot of people forget about that Danny Granger was that guy in Indiana before Danny Granger, before he got injured, and Paul George. That might be my Facebook post tonight to let people know.
But yeah, I got the Jazz.
He's been a number two. He's always been a number two. He's never really been a number one. Even when he went to OKC, he really wasn't a number one. It was just that you had two number twos on the same team, and Paul George is more consistent than Westbrook. Therefore, that's why he was the number one. Because you see, he went back when he goes to the Clippers. He's a number two.
Yeah, he has a good. When you look at his stat line, it'll look like, God, he dropped 20 points.
He did, yeah.
It looks very good, but if you actually watch the game, like, oh wait, he went missing for a whole quarter. He didn't shoot the ball for a whole quarter, or he gave up a whole lot of points on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but Paul George, enough about Paul George. Paul Clifton Anthony George, who needs to go fishing every time. So, but anyway, enough about him. It's all about the Jazz. It's all about Donovan Mitchell. It's all about Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. It's all about Ingles and everybody else who they get coming off the bench.
Rookie of the Year. Jordan Clarkson.
Kind of like an elf, by the way. I'm just saying. But it is okay. I got the Jazz winning this series. They just gave them a game the other night, so they'll come back.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we're going to take a quick one. When we get back, we're getting into the fast break segment. Fast break, where I'm going to get on LeBron heavily. I'm going to get on LeBron heavily. I really don't. Y'all are going to be mad at me for this, but I'm getting on LeBron. Fast break segment. And then I might ask some rapid questions, see where that goes, see what he says. Other than that, we'll be right back.
Girl, what is you talking about? Are you even sure? Get the drama out your mouth or hit the door. We got a night to define, and I wanna start it off right. Girl, I think I'm too gone for this shit.
What's good in universe? We back. Slightly Unbothered. Listen, I told you that's the new name, Slightly Unbothered. Because we're really slightly unbothered on anything and everything in life, pretty much. We really don't care, so to speak. So yeah, we going hard in the paint with that. Real quick before we jump into the fast break, we were talking offline. If y'all haven't seen the Phoenix and
the Nuggets.
Then the Nuggets fight between the fans. Y'all need to go Google that. My man was going to work on this Nugget. This Phoenix fan was going to work on this Nuggets fan, and he was giving him the business, uppercut after uppercut. Then he stopped, looked at my man's boy, and said, "I'm about to beat your boy up. Watch." Continues to proceed to beating him up. Then stops and says, "Suns in 4." That's how gangster that was.
That fight was better than the Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
I would have rather have paid for that than to see that fight. But that's neither here or there. But fast break.
We're in the fast break. Listen, I just want to say this one thing. Y'all are going to be mad at me for this. I really don't care. But LeBron James is a bum. And the reason why I say LeBron James is a bum is for the simple fact is, look, the man can hoop. I'm not going to lie. I've said this. A lot of people think that I'm a LeBron James hater. I'm not a LeBron James hater. I still have Michael Jordan as the GOAT. But the reason why I say that he is a bum is this man quit on his team. Simple and plain. Like, call it for what it is. The man quit on his team. And what's sad is my man quit on his team and they were still in the game. They were down by, I think it was 12 or 13 with 6 minutes left in the game. Last time I checked, you definitely can make up 13 points in 6 minutes. You can do that in less than 2. He quit on his team, people. But man, first, he didn't want to run first. He didn't want to run back down on defense on one play. He didn't want to do that. Okay, give you the benefit of the doubt. You were upset. You didn't get that. You didn't get your call. Second time, he doesn't run down the court on defense. Then have the nerve to get down on the other end of the court and then get mad at his teammates for the foul. Bro, where are you at playing defense? You walk out on the court, you walk off the court, you walk in the tunnel, don't want to say hi to nobody, and then you try to be the cool OG in the game and take a picture with Devin Booker. What is that to do? And then you want to change your number from 23 to 6. What is that gonna do? Oh man, I'm gonna go into 23. I'm changing my number from 23 to 6. I want to be the Miami Heat LeBron James. No, the Miami Heat LeBron James had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. You have a injury plague Anthony Davis, who you got rid of. Who we get rid of? Rajon Rondo, who's still in the playoffs. Dwight Howard, who's still in the playoffs. JaVale McGee, who's still in the playoffs. And is there one other person, Danny Green, who's still in the playoffs? I'm just saying, the man is a quitter. He quits on his team, and then he thinks I will come back better than ever. No, your team is still going to be the same as it was last year. And please believe you're not going to go get Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose doesn't want to play with you. I'm sorry. He's going to stay in New York. And you know Dame Dollar does not want to go to LA. He is an alpha male. I'm sorry. He doesn't want to play with you. So, LeBron, your chance of getting another NBA ring is over with. LeBron, that ring that you got in the bubble, low-key, people are putting an asterisk next to it. Let's call it what it is. I'm sorry. It doesn't count. Yes, you're the greatest of this generation, but I'm sorry. You are a quitter, and I just can't rock like that. That's just my take on it. That's what I had to go in on him about.
All I have to say in response is LeBron James is a 36-year-old injured athlete who can see his career twiddling down. He's trying to go back to the fountain of his youth with changing his jersey, but it's just not going to work. He's just old and he's injured. And for the first time in his career, he looked up and realized that he couldn't get it done.
Yes.
So that's all it is. You know? But he did. He could have gave a little bit more effort in that last game. But I don't think he had it. I don't think he had it.
No.
All right. I just don't. I don't think he had that extra gear anymore. So
I agree. That was my take. Okay, I'm gonna throw you some questions. And I'm gonna see who you think. Can you give me your four most influential players in the league in the last 30 years?
In the last 30 years?
Yeah, influential. Influential. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Influential? That's a weird word to say. Influential, yeah.
In the last 30 years. So that would put, Jordan, Iverson, LeBron, Kobe. Not in that order, though. If I put them in order, it would probably be Iverson, Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. So.
Okay, so Iverson, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe.
Yeah.
I take LeBron out.
Okay.
I would go Jordan, Kobe, Steph, and Iverson. I don't think LeBron really influenced the game, changed the game.
I added LeBron for what he has done
off the court
for the culture of basketball and how he's changed the way athletes are considered
and
what athletes can and cannot do. And his off the court stuff makes him so much that he has his hands and a whole lot of other stuff that most athletes dreamt of. And he's probably making just as much money off the court than he is on the court. So that's why. So he got people thinking I could do something else besides play basketball for the rest of my life. No, I can open a school. I can produce movies. I can be in movies, although Space Jam 2 is going to suck.
That's another thing real quick I want to jump in. LeBron, you tried to make it seem like, well, I guess I could just promote. Listen, this is another reason why I think the NBA has hidden agendas. Okay? Hear me out. Space Jam is supposed to come out when? Is it in June?
Yeah, I think it's in a couple of weeks, right?
No, July 16th.
Yeah,
okay, so it's supposed to come out July 16th, right? So, NBA Finals starts when? We'll say...
Starts around the same time.
Right? Does it not? Around the same time?
No, the finals though. Because the Western Conference.
They probably started in late June.
Yeah,
late June, early July. Okay, listen. They wanted LeBron to go ahead and get out because they wanted him to promote this Space Jam 2 movie. That is probably not going to be all that great because I've seen the previews and the story behind it is just, it's weird.
If you thought Jordan couldn't act, God, no, LeBron couldn't. I see the complaint. He was like, okay, this is my line. Okay, this is my line. And this is my line. That's how he sounded the whole preview. I was like, okay.
I'm done. I can't. The movie is horrible. The movie isn't going to be that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to watch it because I've seen the original Space Jam. And I just like Daffy Duck. So that's why I'm going to watch it. But the story, like I say, is horrible. The story to me isn't that great. And they just wanted LeBron to just get out so he can go ahead and promote his movie. Talk about I guess I could just relax, promote Space Jam 2. Trying to be all, no, LeBron, no. Just face the fact that your Father Time has caught up with you. I'm sorry. Anywho, okay, back to it. Who would you rather have, Luka or Donovan? I mean, not Luka, Donovan. Luka or Trey?
Luka.
Trey or Donovan?
Trey.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. Trey's a little bit more marketable. Trey's a little bit more marketable than what Donovan is.
Take Donovan. Ja Morant or Trey Young?
Ja
or Donovan?
Ja
or Luka?
Luka.
All right. If there's one person in the league that you wish could have continued to play that got injured, who would it have been?
Danny Granger. That way Paul George gonna have to hype his ass on.
I'm done. Me, I would go with I would have liked to see Danny Granger. I would have. That would have been good. But I would have to say Brandon Roy for Portland. I would say Grant Hill, but Grant Hill played after his injuries. He might not have been the same player, but he still can get you buckets. So I would go with Brandon Roy. Now, before we get out of here, before we're done, who do you have in the finals as of right now, today? We say the 13th.
Okay.
As of right now, who do you have in the finals?
The Suns in Milwaukee.
Ooh.
Right now.
Milwaukee
Because we don't know the health status of Kyrie or Harden, although I don't think Harden, as injured as he is, I do think Kyrie will come back, but we just don't know. It's up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, so I have put Milwaukee beating the Nets. And then I think the Suns, with Chris Paul leadership, the three that they have and the others are doing so well, I think they can beat the Jazz in a game, in a 4-game series. So
okay. So you got Suns in Milwaukee. I got Jazz and Philly in the finals right now. Now that might change come the next time we do this. I gotta watch these games over the next few weeks, so it might change over the next week. But I got them too. That's it.
It's hard for me to pick Philly because there's two coaches who it's hard for me to pick. That's Doc Rivers and Ty Lue, because I don't believe they're good coaches. I don't feel that they're good coaches in clutch situations. So.
That is good. I don't think they are. I think Doc is more so than Ty is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But Doc also hasn't won. Has Doc won a ring? I don't think Doc has won a ring.
Yeah. Doc won a ring with Boston.
Oh yeah, that is right.
That first year the big three came together, they won it.
Yeah. I think that was more the player.
And then Ty Lue won it with
LeBron.
Twice.
I think once again both situations.
No. Not twice. He won it with LeBron once. I apologize.
Both of those situations are more that have to do with the players than the actual coach. So.
Well, Cleveland's ring had more so to do with the NBA than it had to do with LeBron or Ty Lue. Look, man, I'm on LeBron. LeBron is a quitter, point blank period. Look, everybody knows that year that Cleveland came back from 3-1 deficit, the NBA gave them a stimulus package. They said, hey, we're going to suspend you, Draymond Green, and that changed the whole complexity of the series. Rather that he was just suspended for one game and he came back. The fact is that changed the whole series because Cleveland was going to lose that game before Draymond got injured. But like I said, hey, I'm not a hater. I just call it how I see it. And if you watch the game, LeBron is a quitter, point blank period. And then I'm calling it now. This is what he's going to do. If you follow him on IG or whatever, he's going to be like, the king is going to get his retribution back. The king is doing this. The king is doing that. The king is getting old. I'm sorry.
He is old. He's 36.
Well, I'm that age and I feel great.
You never feel like you just need to take a nap in the middle of the day for no reason?
No, I really don't.
Well, I feel like that at 34.
So. And you don't even have kids.
Oh.
I feel good. Maybe because I've been going to the gym too. So,
anyway.
But he's been in the league for a long time. He has been in the league for a long time. I will say that. He's been in the league for a long time. But that's nor here nor there. He's a quitter. He quit on his team. Point blank. But anywho, that's it. Y'all start following it. Continue to follow us on IG. Gillie, you changed your things. Gillie _
Gillie the analyst.
Gillie the analyst. Is there any underscores under that?
Gillie _ analyst. But if you type in Gillie the analyst, it'll come up.
Okay, so Gillie the analyst on IG, and then of course Dreams in Motion, ENT for me. Follow us on Facebook. We're changing it. Like I say, we're Slightly Unbothered Podcast. TBD is gone. It was fun while I lasted with TBD.
Website coming soon.
Website's coming soon. Follow us on Facebook. Slightly Unbothered. We'll be having a lot of posts. T-shirts will be coming soon. That's about it. That's all I got. I hope y'all have a great weekend or a great week. I would say have a great week. See you soon. Any shout outs? You got any shout outs?
No.
No. I got one. Be on the lookout for the Chapters music video that I shot, Venting, coming soon. People, if you got uniquely dipped chocolates, y'all need to holler at my lady, my wifey, for uniquely dipped to get your customized strawberries, breakable hearts, all that good stuff. She's in the background, hyped as hell.
Is it too late to order Father's Day stuff?
No, it's not too late to order Father's Day stuff because she's nice like that. You better get it in by I want to say what, Friday, man? Get it in by Friday. Better get it in by Friday so you can get it by Sunday. Other than that, that's it. Like I say, the moral of this whole episode is LeBron was a quitter. If y'all didn't watch the game, go back and watch it. I'm on LeBron now. I'm on his head. Anywho, that's it. Slightly Unbothered Podcast. You dig? Peace.